Welcome, everyone. It's fantastic to have you here for another episode of the Raider Ragu Show, brought to you by the They Follow from Burnus Network. We're so excited to dive into today's topic with you. Our goal is always to bring you content that's not only engaging, but also leaves you with something valuable to think about. Thank you for being a part of our journey. We truly appreciate you tuning in and being with us.
What up, Raider Nation? Welcome into another episode of Raider Ragu Show. Check it. Today, we're in the dead period right now, in between the mandatory mini camps and OTAs being over with and training camp beginning. So, like Coach was saying, 40 days away, right? We're right in the middle of that right now. Check it. So, what I ended up doing was going back and watching some games. And we're going to talk about the problems that the 2025 Raiders had and what this 2026 coaching staff seem to be doing to address that. But first, let me get a like, share, comment, subscribe on the YouTube page. Let me get an automatic download. Please visit our sponsor, shebangboutique.com. That's SHEE bangboutique.com. Go over there, get your girl something fly. Also, do not forget vidIQ. Go on over there for you content creators. Down here in the description, click on that and go see all of the goodies that the vidIQ has for you and let them know the Raider Ragu sent you. All right, man. First and foremost, what stood out to me, the 2025 Raiders, which was bad, was the DB play. All right? Bottom line, man, you can't even sugarcoat this. The pass defense was trash. And what I mean by that is everything. I feel like scheme was trash. Players played trash. Tackling was trash. Attitude about it was trash. It was just horrible, man. It was pathetic seeing teams just routinely convert third down on the Raiders, man. It wasn't even hard. Pause. So what stood out? The too much spacing. For whatever reason, on downs when everybody knows how many yards are necessary, 3rd and long, etc., right? 3rd and 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Everybody knows what's coming, right? Pause. And they would be so far away from the receivers, man, and just letting people run in zones. First of all, get out the damn zone all the time on 3rd down. Get beat man-to-man. If you feel like you don't have the personnel to play man-to-man, let the fans see it. Let the fans see the guys get beat. Because just running around, sitting down in zones, the easy, soft-ass zones that they was running, it was just terrible, man. It was like the first 2 downs, teams didn't even really care because they knew that they can convert 3rd down on the Raiders with ease. And pass rush, Max was providing a decent pass rush from his side, but really nobody on that other side made any noise last year. Kuntz, he just wasn't the player that he was. He didn't play bad, but there is no threat on the other side. So with Max, they'll do shit like have a wing already on the tight end side where he's at. All right. So now he's got to run around both of those guys, and then they'll send the back his way. That's 3 guys dedicated to Max, singled up on the other side, no noise made, right? And then they just run down in the zone, sit down, and they complete the pass, bro. It was so easy. And then I also got to say, too, that the linebacker play, specifically my main man, Devin White, against the pass, not good, man. Not good. And so this is why they addressed that linebacker position like that with Quay Walker, N'Kobe Dean. They did not bring back Devin White, even though he had 145 tackles. And the guy have 145 tackles, you'd be like, oh, he had a great season. He did have a good season tackling people, but a lot of those, none of those, I ain't going to say none. Very small percentage of those were tackles for loss or tackles to stop first down. A lot of those were after the guy had already got yards or whatever. And if the offense was not producing like it wasn't, and you're getting a lot of plays on defense, you're going to have more tackles. And I think that's kind of what happened with Devin White. The defense was out there so long, and he made a lot of tackles, although they weren't TFLs or sacks or tackles to prevent first downs. A lot of the time it was tackled after you already got the first, or on a first down run play where they got 7 yards, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying he had a bad year, but the 145 tackles is a little bit misleading because in the past game he was horrible. Talk about rack yardage. Teams would just routinely catch it while he's dropping, pull up, stop while he's still dropping, dip on him, make him reach and get more yards. Same on the other side with Roberts. Roberts was terrible against the pass as well. Robertson was a decent downhill run-stopping linebacker, but horrible against the pass. These guys would, the slot receivers of today and these running backs, they had no chance against these guys. Those guys are too fast, too quick, too athletic, making too many moves as soon as they get the rock. It was just bad. So they had to address the linebacking situation right there because a lot of that middle pass area is the linebackers. You got to have that help inside. These guys can't just run with these guys if they make them hard breaks inside a lot of the times, especially when they play outside leverage in the zone that they're in. You understand what I'm saying? So the linebacking was bad. The DB play was bad. The DBs didn't really tackle that well either after catches, right? They allow people to make catches. And it ain't so much if you're going to immediately, catch tackle. But, we had a lot of catch, and it was just bad, man. And the Raiders' run D at times was bad. But what I noticed, it was when they got tired after they had been in the game, all these plays being ran. The interior defense started to get a little tired. So then you had the run stuffers, guys like Roberts and White, who are good at that. Now they missing tackles, sliding off tackles. Also Jamal Adams, missing tackles, sliding off tackles and whatnot because they are a little bit worn down. And let's be honest. They've been out there a long time. The offense had a lot of 3 and outs, maybe a lot of 5, 6 plays and outs, right? The whole season. The only game where they kind of marched the football was against Jacksonville. Jacksonville was the best game of the season to me. They fought. They never gave up. They played all the way down to the end, took that thing to OT, lost on the batted ball and 2-point conversion. Was it perfect? No, but I liked the way they fought in that. I liked it better than the 2 wins. The win against New England, that was cool, but that was the first game of the season. Nobody really knew what they were doing yet. That's kind of an extension of preseason, that week 1 game. And then when we beat Tennessee, they were not a good team. And we didn't really beat them by that much. And then that last game of KC, that was a cool game, but it almost cost us the first pick, right? And they didn't have Mahomes or none of those guys. The Jacksonville game was the best game. Now, what did the coaches do this year to address that? Right? It's obvious what they did. But hold on. The Raiders also had a few more problems. All right. Not only the pass rush opposite of Max, also toss sweep / edge away from Max, open all season long. I don't know what it was. It was something in Patrick Graham's defense that defensive coordinator saw that with 3-4 teams ran toss sweep away from Max Crosby with tremendous success. Tremendous success. So that's another thing that they're going to have to address. We're going to have to keep Max healthy if he's going to stay a Raider. You got to protect that knee because there was games where you could see going back, like when you was watching the games, you couldn't really tell. But now going back, watching the games where Max is, you could tell the games that he was hurt in. He was real gimpy on the blockable than usual. So you go back and watch those games where Max was getting blocked a lot. Those were the games where his knee was really hurting him. Also, Brock's knee, man, because with no Bowers, bro, the way this team is constructed right now with no big-time wideout, if there's no Brock Bowers on the field, bro, this team is very predictable, extremely beatable on offense. And I'm talking about it could get ugly because now you just load the box, wait for him to give it to Genty, and that's it. They don't care about Trey Tucker. They don't care about Bash or Thornton or none of those guys, man. They'll get right in the chest of those guys. They don't fear them at all. Those guys might be fast, Tucker and Thornton, but they're not. They don't fear them. They're not strong players, right? When they catch the ball, they go down, right? There's no threat of any of those guys doing anything after they catch the football. But Bowers catch it, Bowers gets live. So Max's knee, Bowers' knee. Also, special teams let us down last year, man, a lot. Block punts, kickoff returns, Carlson missing big field goals. Carlson missed extra point. Special teams was terrible last year. When you add not good, for the most part, defensive play. You played a decent against the run. Terrible special teams for the most part. Well, special teams, some facet of special teams letting you down each and every game. And you pair that with an offense that was not very productive, especially after they traded Jacoby Myers, which was another dumb move. I don't understand sometimes what these people are thinking. They think that Bash and Thornton are going to be something, and you just let one of the best players on your team go away for money that you could have paid them, right? I was thinking that Jacoby Myers wanted closer to $30 million a year. He went to Jacksonville for 20, right? He took a 3-year deal for $60 million or something like that, man. The Raiders could have easily given him that. He was a chain mover, okay? This was a guy that was going to block, catch the football, and be there in big moments. Now we got nobody like that except Bowers, bro. The team had a decent amount of weapons when they had Myers, Genty, and Bowers. If they could have added to that, that would have been fine. But to subtract Myers, now, bro, you're back less than you were already. So I don't know what their plans are. Naylor, we'll see about Jalen Naylor. I don't have him as that. Maybe they do. Maybe they know something I don't. Maybe they think they're going to put some magic beans in Bash and Thornton and Tucker, and they're going to all of a sudden be big-time receivers. But, if Brock gets hurt, the team is basically trash on offense. I'm just keeping it 100, man. So I'm interested to see what they're going to do as far as that lack of threats, because Thornton, Besh, Tucker were all on the team last year, bro. And I'm telling you, when you watch the Raiders play without Bowers, it's two different teams. Two different teams. Only thing they got is Genty. And that's no disrespect to nobody. So why would you trade Myers? And then not replace him? Okay, this dude from Oregon, Malik Benson, he's supposed to be a guy. We'll see. I bet you he's not going to be no Jacoby Myers coming out. But we'll see, man. I don't know what their plans are, but I feel like the trade in Jacoby was stupid. The play calling wasn't that great either, but it wasn't all on play calling, and it all wasn't on the offensive line either, man. Some of that shit was lack of weapons, and a lot of that shit was special teams and the lack of good defense against the pass. Period. Now, what did they do? First of all, they fired the head coach, right? So cleared everybody out as far as that goes, right? Patrick Graham is now gone. Robbie, I like how he's talking because Robbie sounded like he wants guys to attack. So he's going to blitz is what I'm thinking. And the guys are going to be closer to guys just because of that, right? They got Joe Woods as the DB coach / defensive assistant coach, right? And then the other guy, Simmons. So they know that they have to get closer to the guys. They saw the film that I saw, right? So they're going to play better pass defense. Joe Woods' units play better pass defense everywhere he shows up. Robbie's the decor. He sat through the Patrick Graham years and probably would have called different defenses in different situations, and that's what he's thinking about, right? That's why he wants guys going out there flying around, going 100 miles an hour. If you make a mistake, so what? That's not going to cost us a game. But when we're right, we're going to be right. You understand? And I think I'm interested to see how Robbie's going to play it. But those were the problems. And then they addressed with Joe D, right? Joe D. Camillus, one of the best special teams minds ever, right? He's out there being really detail-oriented. They did not re-sign Carlson. Carlson has some big misses, y'all. They didn't re-sign him. Came with a whole new special teams coordinator. Got players specifically to play special teams as well. All right? So they saw what we saw. They knew they needed a quarterback, right? They got Cousins and Fernando. They knew Genty needed a little help because Mostert was all right, but he was older, right? So they got a bigger back to come in and sub for Genty. They got some O-line help, right? Better O-line coaching, better coaching, period, across the board on offense. So they addressed everything, man. This team, this staff saw everything that I just talked about. They saw it too, because you could tell by what they're doing. Now, it wasn't all gloom and doom. I feel like Genty, Bowers, Trey Tucker too, all played really good, man. Genty and Bowers are excellent, top-level offensive players in the NFL, and Tucker is right there underneath them. So these guys are something that we can build upon. So that with the new guys that came last year, Bash and Thornton, you guys got to get with the program, man. Come help these guys out. I feel like Bash and Thornton, if we can combine those two players, that would be a really good player. But Bash is a strong kid, willing to block, but a little slow, so doesn't really get open that much. Dante can get open because he's fast, but he's not strong, doesn't block well, goes down easy, and doesn't make catches in traffic. That's my take on them too. What are you gonna do, Dante? What you gonna do, Jack Besh? Dante, are you gonna be strong at the point? Are you gonna finish catches? Jack Bech, are you going to get any separation? What you going to do? That's what I'm asking y'all. Because right now, I feel like the Raiders, and check the shirt. You guys see the shirt? To earn your shield. Hit me up if you want to get one of them. My boy Paz K. But yeah, what you guys going to do? Because that's what it is with you too. On defense, everybody got to get better. Isaiah Polamar, I think, is a good player, man. You know, is he perfect? No. But will he come up and knock fire from you? Yes, he will. He's got the real Raider attitude. He comes up and hits. You're going to have to show him. You understand? With him, you have to show him. And I like that about players. All the rest of the DBs, Stokes, you had a decent year. You could play better, though. You can get your hands on the ball a little more. You could tackle better. George Pickens exposed you a bit. Porter, you got to get better, right? I hope you're in the facility day and night because you could tell that you're young at the position and you got to get a little bit nastier. All right, you got the skill set. You got the God-given talent, the speed, the length, the agility. You got to get it up here, Porter. You got to think the game better. You got to know situations better, and you got to get a little bit nasty, my guy. We're going to see with the new guys, man, Stooks, Massis, Dalton Johnson, McCoy. These guys are going to be hungry, man, and that's why the Raiders drafted all these guys because the DB play was atrocious last year. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, man. I ain't going to hold you. Just win, baby. Peace.
Thanks for tuning in to the Raider Ragu Show. Don't forget to download the show, like, comment, and subscribe for more Raiders content. Follow us on YouTube at Raider Ragu for updates and behind-the-scenes action. Stay loyal. Raider Nation will see you next time.